Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Some Like It Pop, a bi-weekly look at the latest happenings in pop culture. This is Bradley Stern, editor-in-chief of Pop Crush.
This is Samantha Vincenti, managing editor of Pop Crush.
And I'm Matt Donnelly, and I'm senior writer at Pop Crush.
Allie could not be with us today.
She can't.
She has fallen ill, but she is missed on this episode.
She is missed. I'm sad that we can't talk about The Bachelorette.
There's an actual space between Sam and me, so it's very evident.
With flowers. There are actual, not our flowers, but it's in
There are
memoriam.
flowers. It's
in
very-
memoriam of her.
It looks like a memorial. So, Ellie, you're missed.
Get well soon, Allie.
So today we are going to talk about the Song of Summer, a thing that has cropped up in the past few years as being an official thing that the internet has decided exists.
Although we could barely find one last year.
We could barely find one last year. Some would say ultimately that it was Fetty, I believe.
Yeah, and
Trap
also
Queen.
I feel like Song of Summer has been a concept in radio for a long time. It's just that the conversation around it.
Yes, it has ramped up with each year.
Right.
And it has gone earlier and earlier. In March and April, people have already started deciding what the Song of Summer is.
Right.
And the metric, I feel like, changes every year. Sometimes it's like sales. Sometimes it's like just what happens to be in the conversation.
Radio. Yeah.
And then who knows?
For me, it's what's in the conversation and the song I hear the most everywhere all the time. Last year, I feel like it was kind of split. There was no clear winner. It was like, Fetty Wap, Trap Queen, Omi, Cheerleader.
Yep.
And the remix of it. And then
Forgot about that.
I feel like there was another.
Oh, Nico and Vinz, was it that year?
No.
That was the year before?
Yeah.
That year was definitely Fancy.
Yes.
Iggy and
yeah,
Charlie.
big time. No question.
Was Lean on last year?
Yes, totally.
Lean On, also a contender for last year.
Yeah, you nailed it.
But we've actually kicked off our poll for Song of Summer 2016 finally this week. And so far we have 4 contenders. We have a couple of ones that are going to be revealed in the next few days. We have Ariana Grande, Into You. We have Drake, One Dance, which is already topping the charts right now. What else we got? We have
You have Justin Timberlake,
Justin Timberlake,
who
Can't
is
Stop the
literally everywhere.
that's also already everywhere. And then the final one is the one against Justin. I believe that was Rihanna and Calvin.
I kind of like that they all have these different stories coming in. It feels like an actual tournament. It's like these 2 dominant forces, and then like this one that's picking up steam, and this one that's sort of been like around and is building up a little bit. They all got their own little stories.
Yeah, I want to say that it's too late for One Dance only because when I went to Aruba in April, that was my beach jam then.
Right.
But everyone still loves it so much.
So much.
It won't go away. And then I eventually thought it would be replaced by Controlla, which is right next to it on Views. Or I thought maybe Too Good because that's Drake and Rihanna, which, as we all know, it dominates.
Magic.
Yes,
Every time.
magic. Every single time.
Every time.
I still wouldn't be shocked if Too Good made a later entry in July. But
And there is sort of a dark horse in that 21 Pilots song Ride I think it's number 12 this week. And when I did that Shakira Look Back at Hips Don't Lie a couple weeks ago, the DJ I talked to said that was one he definitely had his eye on that would definitely build up steam.
so not the one that was already everywhere.
No, I think this is the second one. I
New
think
21 Guns track.
right.
21 Pilot.
21 Pilots. 21 Guns. I don't know what the hell.
It was 21.
I'm a really
like
big
a
21
That's
Guns
Green
fan.
Day from a few years back.
Yeah, that was Green Day. Oh.
21 Pilots, I have called the 311 of our time. That is what they are.
What a
to me.
distinction.
They are a wallet chain
Yeah, they...
in band form.
Amber is
That
the
is
color
how I
of
see
their
them.
energy.
Yeah, I've looked them
Yes.
up at least 3 times to try and figure out what they are, and then I realize it and then forget immediately after. But I know I should be more respectful.
Because they are resonating.
They are
They
resonating.
are. And I remember the first time I saw them when I was working at MTV. I forget if it was the Movie Awards or the VMAs, and they just sort of tore onto the stage and did this really bizarre performance.
Oh, that's right.
I forget. I think Car Radio was
Yeah.
the name of the song. And they just had the crowd all wear these like masks in solidarity, and it was very like V for Vendetta.
Insane Clown Posse,
They're just running
Yeah.
around going
Teens
nuts.
love it.
And
Yeah.
teens love it.
Teens
They do.
love it. As
And
long
I
as
also,
it-
they were nominated in the best rock
Yes.
category, I think,
Yeah.
which is a testament to where
Where
rock
rock
is on
is.
MTV these days.
Thriving.
Sky
Right.
High.
Yes.
Thriving. But which other ones, because we have yet to unveil some, which other ones we've been throwing around a lot. Oh, we didn't talk about Ariana, Into You, which I feel like should be, well, I'm biased, but it should be higher up
I'm biased. I love Ariana Grande so much. I would love to be proven wrong on this, but I feel like part of the ingredient of a summer anthem is that both genders want to blast it out of their car.
Yes, you're right.
And I don't see a lot of straight men blasting into you out of their
no.
car. Again, I would love to be proven wrong.
Nah, I think it's a little too gay.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, totally. But also, I mean, she had no chance with Be All Right. That was even campier. That was house
my
track.
favorite. Yeah.
It's just funny you say this as like a longtime fan because I've liked her enough, but I've never been that diehard for it. This song, I really really like it. I don't know.
It's a great pop single.
Great
It
song.
should be really popular.
Should at least be a hit, even if it's not the song of summer. And I feel like it's still not even a real big hit.
No, it's gaining steam though.
It's gaining steam.
On the
Sleeper.
chart.
Sleeper.
Yeah.
We're gonna hope for that
Potential.
to
It's
continue to
up.
climb.
Yeah, it's up this week.
Yeah.
So here's hoping.
What I didn't see coming, which is a possible contender, is Rihanna's Needed Me is now number 6 or 7.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Which is so weird. It's so
Who's
moody.
even to say the way that album works? Every turn is a
That's
new
true.
surprise.
Yeah.
Couldn't have predicted Work would be her biggest hit of all time.
Nope. Although I let our website
Yes.
record show,
Yes.
I was the earliest fan of that
You
song.
loved that
of
one.
the team.
Sure.
But certainly did not think We Found Love would be taken by that track.
No.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I want to like their new song. This Is What You Came For more than I do.
Yeah.
But it sounds like a generic vocal feature
Totally.
to me. It could have
Super
been
generic.
anyone else.
It's one of those songs, it's fine, but who
Right.
cares?
it's really good at the club at like 2 a.m. though.
Right.
Like I can speak from personal experience that you're
Right.
like, finally it's on. I've
Last
been
night at 2
waiting for
a.m. when
this
I heard
song.
it was pretty good.
So I can see why that would resonate. It's
Yeah.
just it sounds like everything that you've already heard, and you're like, oh, it feels like home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's
another
fair.
thing back to that interview I had, the guy said one key ingredient to a song was something unexpected that people can't quite figure out, and that's usually what they request when they call in for the song. Is like that song, like for Shakira, for example, was that weird voice, or like
Yeah.
other songs like that bass line I didn't understand. Like, do you know? So it's like those sort of unsung qualities that aren't really, that pervasive at the time.
Well, one of my picks is both for my own song of summer and generally on a trap queen level is Kent Jones' Don't Mind.
Oh.
And that does have that kind of, I could see people calling in with that sort of weird request because, well, it also, first of all, it's like the sort of upbeat song that people like to play out of their car and do, but I think even more people will.
Yeah.
And that I can testify to firsthand. And it also has like the line that is kind of different languages, like "Hola, cómo está? Dice konnichiwa. Dice pardon my French." That's that part.
So everyone
it
can
sounds
relate
just
to
like
it.
that. Don't bother looking it up. That's
Wow.
exactly what it sounds like.
Multilingual.
But anyway, yeah. So I can see people liking to
Liking
sing
that.
along with that.
Very Pitbull. Very Mr. Worldwide.
I was gonna say so international. Yeah, just that
I love
little bit
Pitbull.
that sort of like keeps you hanging on to.
Another candidate that I'm very proud to throw into the mix here is, well, a couple from them. Fifth Harmony. Work From Home is one of my favorite songs of the year. And it's been at top 10 for a while now. I don't know if it has the steam to last through the summer, but Worth It had an 8-month journey that was never ending until it finally hit top 10. So
It did, although that's a good point about summer anthems tying into that.
Yes.
Is that so many summer anthems past have been real slow burns
yes.
that were around for a long time and then just made it like Iconopop. I love it.
true.
Had kind of quasi risen to prominence with the Girls episode, the best Girls episode ever.
Right.
But then just kind of floated around and then became a summer anthem. Even like Disclosure and Sam Smith's Latch was
True.
another one that
Yeah.
was just around for a year, I
Nearly
think.
a year. Mm-hmm. True.
So it could, I feel like, yeah, it might have also peaked too early. And I think strangely, my declaration about Into You doesn't necessarily hold for Work From Home for some reason, even though it's also very girly. Maybe the Ty Dolla $ign feature really butches it up or
Really
something.
does. Yeah. Well, the construction workers, and you just, you're inspired to do some home,
They're euphemistic,
Some-
confusing construction work from home.
sledgehammers.
Yeah.
And
It's
when a
manly.
video, when a video goes right, though, it can totally work in its favor because I feel like half the appeal of Fancy was that Clueless video.
Oh, so good.
And
It was.
I
That
feel
was-
like, had Into You not had a super boring video that was totally, ubiquitous desert, it could have maybe helped it out a little bit.
Very
but-
much
Yeah,
agree. And that's
true.
what helped Drake with Hotline Bling. We were just talking about that. I mean, it was already a hit, but then all the memes of him in the cube doing
Right.
the dancing.
You just
all
need a
the
little
dancing.
extra video otherwise.
You need a meme.
Good performance, maybe. Who knows?
In this
Drake
day
is
and
the
age,
king of that.
king of memes.
Yeah,
Right.
he knows.
Yeah.
So for Fifth Harmony, I don't know. I just find that song so boring. I know
There's
everyone
that
loves
one,
it. I
but
just
they
don't
also-
care about it.
Oh, you
It grew
find
on
it
me.
boring?
I do.
It
I'm
grew
sorry.
on me. I will say I did not like it at first, and it grew on me.
I just for a vocal group to have that hook, I just don't care. It's like
Right. It's not a vocal
Yeah.
track. And neither is the other candidate for possible summer track, which is All in My Head Flex, which
Nope.
is their very
I reject
embarrassing
it.
reggaeton inflected summer bop.
Which
So-
the chorus, for those who don't know, is a
Oh yes, it's
Interpolation
an interpolation
of Mad Cobra's
Yeah.
flex, time to have sex, like that. It's
and
like
I wish
that.
they just kept it as
right.
is.
That would be fine. I would be actually fine
Yeah,
with that.
it's like a very twinkly version of that. And
What do they say? Time to impress?
Time to impress. Yeah.
Ugh, no, I
No.
don't like that.
No,
So
because
that-
they're in that weird stage where they have to toe the line between sexy and safe. They're in this such weird.
it
part.
is totally.
It's like they
That
dress
album
a
almost
little.
feels that way. It's like some
Yeah.
songs feel very safe and very crafted to like appeal to a younger audience, and then they just let the f-bomb fly.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
Yeah, that song makes me cringe for the kids bop feel of it.
Oh, yeah.
Thinking of the original, I can't get past it. Their song with Missy Elliott though is fantastic.
That is, yeah, and they're swearing all over that one.
Mm-hmm.
It's really emancipated.
So amazing.
the F word.
It's their transition album, and hopefully not their final album, because Lord knows every single day there's another rumor that they are splitting.
Yeah.
But any other candidates that we have in mind?
I mean, another one that's slow burn, I guess, would be an exaggeration because I think it's currently in the top 10 of the Hot 100, but Daya and Chainsmokers still
Pretty
let
high
me
up
down.
there. I think it's 6 or 7 this week on the Hot
Yeah,
100.
it's pretty high up. So it would be an exaggeration to say it's a dark horse, but I
Right.
feel like that also, it's like has the chorus that people like to yell along to at festivals,
Yep.
positive attitude.
I like it. It's fine.
I
Yeah, I
once
mind
again am just shocked that I'm shocked at the state of the charts in general, but I did not think that song would be the one that really took off for them. It
Yeah.
felt, we like her and we like them, but I personally was just not that bowled over by that song.
Yeah. It's like
I don't think
fine.
it's as interesting as what was it, Roses, that they had.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but we'll see. So we're gonna keep unveiling.
I've only just finally forgotten Selfie, so
Oh, right.
That was
I
hard for
honestly,
me.
and they to me have overcome that in a Carly Rae way where they could have been defined by one song.
yeah.
Like a game.
I just didn't like it. For me, it really touched on something I don't care for in the EDM community and the DJ community, of which I have been a long time member of, and I have some DJ friends, but I just do feel like there is always this running like dumb girls around the DJ booth. These dumb girls that I
Yeah.
completely surround myself with
Yeah, it's super
on
pandering.
purpose
Right.
all the time and don't ask any questions about female artists at
Yeah,
all.
yeah,
Like, I don't know. So it touched a nerve with me, like the circle of DJs who post constant memes about the dumb girls that they meet in the club,
Right.
on purpose.
fair
Like,
enough.
So it touched a nerve for me.
But
I
maybe
will say.
they've grown from that and
Yeah,
realized.
yeah, fair enough.
I feel like they have.
We're
Yeah.
going to break the
They
cycle.
make good songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
No,
we're
who
gonna
else
keep-
might break the cycle?
Oh, who?
Oh, no. I was
Is
Who's
that a
gonna break the
segue?
cycle? Who's breaking the cycle?
well, I was going to say there was some other alternate news today.
Yes.
Or as of yesterday, in fact.
Yes.
Which is that one Kelly Clarkson has announced that she has something on the way. We don't know what, but she has identified it as the coolest thing of her professional career.
Yes, she. If you haven't seen it, Kelly has started unveiling daily Facebook Live videos where she's been covering songs and talking awkwardly
As she
about
does.
that she's announcing an announcement on Friday and that it's very exciting.
Right, and all of these 4 covers will have some common thread that will sort of serve as a hint to this final announcement, but we don't know what it is.
And we're really unclear about what the tying bonds are. So it's Otis Redding, right?
These Arms of Mine
Yep.
and Foreigner, I Want to Know What Love Is,
Yeah.
which are, as far as I can tell, as different as 2 songs can get.
I'm wondering if it's a covers album. I mean, that's the most obvious
Yeah.
kind of thing, but I don't know if it's themed after movies or something like that, but
Yeah, so she made a point to identify that the Otis song was from the Dirty Dancing soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
Foreigner's been covered a bunch, but I don't know that it's been on a soundtrack.
It's been in I feel like it's been in a lot of movies.
Ton
I'm
of
sure it
movies.
has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of specific ones, but I mean that is like a defining track. I don't know though. We've heard rumblings now for a while that she's done with her label fulfillment of her albums.
Right.
So there's reasonable chance that she might be hopping labels, which could be part of the announcement.
Yeah, and there's been talk for a long time about her doing a country album, which makes sense just because she's already done a bunch of country singles. She's fits in with that community, lives in Nashville, prefers to go to country shows, and doesn't really fit in with the pop scene as much anymore.
Yeah, I don't think this is the country album. I don't think so.
No.
I also feel like, well, you said she's done with her album requirement. I
Yeah.
feel like the covers album is usually
Right, to get out
to
of
get
the,
out, like to
the
kill
deal.
one. Yeah.
True, but I guess maybe if she wants to just keep doing passion projects, maybe she found a label that will let her satisfy that. I'm not sure. So we're watching the covers.
I'm sure it is of some kind.
Yeah.
But just, I feel like just covers have become such a requisite part of her career. Like she does a new one at every single show. So I feel like there's something a little.
Matt is our
Well,
resident
yeah.
Kellyologist.
Yes, Clark Stan.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I hopefully I'm serving
Is that what they're
my
called?
duties here.
Clark Stan?
I think I made it up, but it might be real.
It sounded
Kelly
fine.
Clark Stan.
Do people still use fan nicknames? I mean, I know
Yeah, ironically.
websites use them,
Right.
the hash, to try to attract the eyeballs, but to varying degrees of success. I don't actually think that's a thing that works, but I know that was a
Best
thought
practices.
of best practice. But like,
oh no,
yeah,
it
I
just
don't.
occurred to me it's celebrities.
It
Oh,
is celebrities.
nice.
That's right, the fan club.
Sorry, not to
Nice.
cut you off.
Sorry.
No, that's.
I just wanted to say
You're
it
not
before
making
I-
that up. That's a real.
That's real.
And you don't in your private life refer to yourself as a celebrity
Like a celebrity.
in conversation.
I mean, I do have a badge on my backpack.
Yes.
It says as much, but
Yes.
it's a little old and dusted over.
I don't know. I guess it goes from artist to artist. I feel like there are some believers who are proud to say they are believers.
Yeah, that's
I think
true.
so. Harmonizers, some of them, I think.
Mixers.
Mixers. Yeah.
Arianators, she calls them babes.
Yeah. Ariana.
And that's
Tried.
Ariana. It sounds like a
Arianators.
combination of like Aryan,
It's definitely.
which no one wants to hear that.
Vaguely.
No, ooh, yeah.
and then like a
It's a
killer
militant-
robot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like
Arianator
it.
was not cute.
Selenators also.
Selenators
Killer senators.
Are a
Who will
lesser
destroy
known
you.
public office. The
None of them
Selenor.
really roll off the tongue. They're not really like
No.
rich language. It's
No.
like something you'd say when your mouth is full.
Even Levatic.
Yeah.
is
Oh, I
like-
thought lunatic. Like
Lunatic?
I'm a lunatic. I'm a lunatic.
Oh.
I
I
think.
can see that.
Yeah.
And then Miley very briefly
Levatics,
had
let us know.
smilers,
Yeah.
but
not into it.
no one smiled soon after.
She was not smiling.
No,
to that.
I don't. I think that's dying. That definitely came with Gaga, Little Monsters.
Mm-hmm.
And then she even sort of, in recent interviews, has been kind of slagging that off and been saying, like, I don't want you to worship me like a queen. And her fans are like, oh.
Guess I'll get these 9 tattoos lasered
Reel
off.
that one in. Reel
stop.
that in.
Because they do. I know plenty of people who have several of them.
But so one of the things we also want to talk about from Kelly was that after her cover today, she did a Q&A, some fan questions, and one that came up was, do you have a message for your LGBT fans in the wake of Orlando? And she handled it well because she said, you know, she didn't want to say something trite or she kept saying, like, I don't like when people talk like bumper stickers.
Yeah, which I liked because I feel like a lot of times after tragedies like these, people sort of use them as a way to capitalize and sort of serve as an authority on something they don't really know about. And she said, you know, I'm happy to extend all of my, you know, hope for you guys, but there's nothing that can be said after such a tragedy to sort of quell everyone's fears, but just keep like pushing on.
Yeah, she said, I hope people aren't just praying, and I hope that they're actually... I think she wasn't trying to get political, but the message that I got underlying was that I hope you're not just saying thoughts and prayers,
Right.
and that you're doing something about this or trying to change people's opinions and things like that, which I liked.
She did not say call your senator, but she
did
basically said she offered a similar sentiment.
Yes, she did.
That's thoughts and prayers aren't working
Right.
shorthand for that, but
Right.
And then
And-
she cried.
yeah,
Then
and
she
the
cried.
sincerity of it for me was endearing. I
Yes.
found. I mean, I do understand whether or not I respect it is another matter, but I do understand that certain artists sidestep politicizing it or their feelings on Orlando because they have a conservative fan base. To be honest, that is why I thought Taylor Swift was silent for
Yes.
a long time.
I was surprised, not surprised, I should say. I wasn't surprised by how long it took Taylor, but I wasn't surprised by what her response was, which was, if you didn't see it, she wrote out all the names of the victims and said in a letter that I really didn't like, the opening line was, "As you bury your loved ones this week."
I thought that was weird. Yeah.
That was a really weird way to start
To
it.
phrase it,
I
yeah.
didn't like that. But ultimately it was, sorry for your loss. And there was no mention of a gay club. There was no mention of anything that could be hate. It was just like, you could have looked at that and thought that was an earthquake and thought
Yeah,
it was a
right.
tragic
That's
earthquake.
depressing.
Right.
I didn't know that. I hadn't seen that yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did see all the criticism saying she had used the community as a means to promote her single from the last album, but hadn't said anything since then.
Yeah, she did.
Oh, that's right.
When she tweeted about marriage equality, it was
Yeah.
a lyric from her own song.
Welcome to
Right.
New York.
All
Right,
in the
right.
service of album promo.
Right.
I mean, everything Taylor does is in the service of Taylor promo.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
yeah.
I mean, we definitely all agree on that. And when it's very interesting to see which artists off cycle said something versus, ones who are currently promoting a new or upcoming album. It was definitely very telling. And I don't mean to make it cynical, but I think some of the responses were more sincere than others. Christina, of course, jumped up with a single written by Fancy called Change, which all proceeds from that went to the Orlando victims. And also the song is completely related to the subject and very explicitly, about equality and tolerance, and not just a song that she had knocking around that she could, put out there.
Right.
Which I thought was very generous. I was very pleased with Christina, who I
And Kid
very
Cudi
much.
tweeted that he hated that hip hop was really homophobic and he wanted to do his part to change that.
Yes.
And then I guess I don't know if it was sparked, I'm imagining it was sparked by some replies he got, but then he basically all caps was like, if you're homophobic, unfollow me right
Yeah,
now.
he was-
And then Ty Dolla $ign was like, what Kid Cudi said.
Yeah.
Which is a shame that just two artists should be applauded for that small of an effort, but it was
It says
a
something
big, I mean, in the
totally-
hip hop
Yeah.
community, that is that's still a
such
big thing.
A
so
strange parallel to like the political climate right now, which is like these Republican senators being strong-armed by influence and money and aren't saying anything. And I guess the same can be said for a lot of artists whose fans are maybe a little bit more conservative, like you said.
or whose own beliefs don't
Right. No,
align
that's
with
true.
liking gay people.
Right.
And it does,
I
and
was
it's-
talking about more Taylor on that one.
but it's hard to, was it Time wrote one of the earlier
Yes.
posts about who was and
saying
wasn't.
anything.
And as they said themselves, like, it is unbecoming, or I don't remember what the exact word, it was a good word, but it was
Right.
like, it's unsavory to judge other people's
score
response.
people's-
Exactly.
yeah.
But I mean, as of now, Rihanna and Nicki Minaj did never say anything.
No,
right?
they have not. And Nicki went through her own controversy because she unfollowed a fan who was begging her to say something about it, and then started liking tweets celebrating the fact that she didn't have to listen to anybody telling her what to do.
God.
And that became her own. That became messier than it even had to be. So
Yeah.
Self-perpetuated by the sounds of it.
Yes. So, and instead she kept on promoting her latest single,
Okay.
Unrelated. Yeah. Yeah. So that was like not a cool move on Nicki's part. Rihanna's silence is also very notable because she has such a big gay following, and we have seen a lot of people tweet her just being like, say something, which I think is sad. I think it's really
Yeah.
sad that you can't, even if, even if all you can do is retweet a helpful link or something and you can't personally put
Just
it into
one
words.
Right.
Just
Even like
acknowledge.
like the GoFundMe link or something
Yeah.
apolitical. You don't
Yeah, it doesn't have to be political.
align yourself with.
Like Taylor's was not political. It just
Yeah.
had to be an acknowledgement of some kind. I
And like
think-
you said, not every person should be held to a standard of acknowledging every single thing that happens in
Right.
the world. But if you are routinely tweeting and you are clearly observing the news in a very, close context, then you would obviously be aware that this is happening, and it would probably be a routine of you to acknowledge it.
And if your career is largely dominated by gay men.
Right.
That is a
Seriously.
big difference, yeah.
If you have like 100 tweets, then obviously no one's gonna,
Right.
you know.
Right. There are even Beyonce,
Yeah.
who does not interact with us often.
Right.
You know, had the decency to
Brittany.
Instagram, and Brittany wrote a caption, and she normally does not long form it on her own.
Just 3 grams corn.
She just regrams corn. She actually had something very sweet to say about, you know, dance meaning a lot to her, and feeling very upset that it was somewhere where dance was being, you know, appreciated by her fans and people in general.
Yeah, and it's an unfortunate testament when you think, you know, all of this It Gets Better stuff has been over and everything's been solved, and yet there's, you know, every day new generation of kids coming up facing these issues, and they need constant reassurance that things are obviously, you know, okay, especially in light of things that prove that they are not okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So yay, Kelly Clarkson.
Yay to Kelly Clarkson. Who else? There was Selena. Selena did something, I feel like, but I can't remember what, because I'm thinking of the list now of the names that they sort of alienated and then have since had to kind of revoke, because Demi has said things. And
Perez Hilton called her out for not reacting quickly enough, which I'll confess. Right. I mean, I definitely had some judgmental thoughts in the first few days, which in retrospect were like a little quick to judge because people process things
totally
at a very different.
Definitely.
I mean, that day I was really upset when I found out about it, and my boyfriend was like comforting me because I was upset, which is silly. And then the next day he got upset because it took him like another day. It just like, you know, it takes some people longer than others to process and react to things. So
definitely. And they could have gotten, I mean, Christina did tweet during the week, but as we said, she could have said nothing and then released the song on Friday, but that would have, you know, pissed off a lot of people in the days leading up to it, thinking that she was saying nothing when in fact she was planning this, bumping up this special release just for the Orlando victims. It's, you know, I think the natural inclination is to kind of get mad if you don't see somebody feeling the same way you do, and you're feeling that grief at that time.
Yeah.
But
Twitter is certainly the gasoline.
It really
everything.
is. Social media has
speaking of
changed
which,
this.
Demi Lovato quit social
Demi
media
quit
this week.
social last night.
Bets on her return.
Tomorrow. I'm
I'd
guessing.
say like a week.
Maybe a week.
Give her a good week.
Yeah.
Tweeting from her secret account, maybe. I don't expect that to go on forever. I think she...
Yeah, there were about 5 tweets following her quitting.
Yeah,
So.
I'm gone.
I think she's
Me.
threatened before. I think she
saw
has.
me, you
Yeah.
didn't.
But it's relatable. I mean, I've also gotten angry or, you know, been called out on Twitter or something and then been like, I'm throwing in the towel. I'm not doing it anymore.
And I like it, but still follow me
an
on
hour
Snapchat. Here it
later,
is.
like, love this new single. But no, yeah.
Oh yeah, she did say, but still follow me on Snapchat.
Yeah, follow
I
me on
appreciated
Snapchat.
that. I mean, I do think a lot of people appreciate Snapchat for many reasons, but one of them being that there's no dialogue there.
Yeah, she said that. She said, I don't have to respond to all of you, which I love too.
with a hand
Get it.
wave.
I totally get it. And that's why I like it too, is you cannot visually see hate being thrown your way unless like somebody is snapping their face at you, being like, you're stupid.
And you can just not look.
You can just not look.
It's so easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, you know.
Still don't have Snapchat.
So find us on Snapchat.
So find us on, what a
Crush
great
Snap.
segue. Yeah. Pop Crush Snap. Send us all of your snaps, and even the mean ones, and
Even
we
the
won't
mean
even
ones.
have to look at them if we don't want
I
to.
also, my own Snapchat, my Twitter is Shermanther, but apparently there's another Shermanther on Snapchat. So
Oh.
people keep friending her and then, or him.
Sending
I don't
you.
know. Could
Sending-
be Sherman. And then they're like, who is this? To
Oh
all
my
the people
God.
who are
Oh,
friending
no.
them. In fact, I think I accidentally friended Shermanther, trying to figure out the mystery, but
Oh, wow.
anyway.
Don't you have
Snapchat's
some
great.
sort of ownership over that?
I know.
very
My
strange.
I have
copyright
an
is
impersonator in
pending.
Brazil, but that's a different story.
Oh,
Yeah. It's a very different story. Anyway, watch who you snap.
Yeah.
Cool. So I think,
Oh, yeah, we're wrapping up.
yeah. So that's all for.
We're really bad at ending this, by the way.
No, I think this was a really natural segue.
This is a natural, cool segue that is happening right now.
If you'd like more from us, you can visit us at popcrush.com, follow us on Twitter at popcrush, and definitely follow us on Snapchat at popcrushsnap. And subscribe on iTunes to this podcast and on YouTube. @PopCrushMusic. I think that's all of our handles.
That's long and short
I
of
hope
them.
you were writing them all down.
Hope you wrote them all down. All right, until
All right.
next week.
See you.
See you.
Bye.